All right, let's get into this story because it's a really special one. We're talking about Diane Laidlaw, who you might know as Afrofutcha. Now, this isn't one of those stories about a tech genius setting out to conquer the world. No, this is something else entirely. It's about how technology, specifically AI, found her when she needed it most. And, well, it accidentally launched her onto a global stage. And this quote, man, it just says it all, doesn't it? This journey for her wasn't about fame or becoming an AI wizard. It started as a lifeline. We're talking about the pandemic, a time of immense loss for her. And this creative outlet, this AI, it literally became the one thing that could pull her out of bed in the morning. That's powerful. So, section 1, the spark. And for her, this all kicked off as a therapeutic beginning. So, where did she start? With the tool you've probably heard of called Midjourney. And if you're not familiar, it's pretty simple, really. It's a program where you just type in a few words, what they call a prompt, and poof, it spits out a totally unique image. This was her starting line. This was the first time she could take what was in her head and actually see it. But here's where it gets really, really cool. She didn't just keep this to herself. She started teaching other people how to use Midjourney, holding these nightly sessions on the app Clubhouse. And what she found was just incredible. She wasn't the only one who needed this. Her biggest group of followers, women over 50. A lot of them had spent their whole lives being told, oh, you're not the artistic type. And here they were, creating these amazing things with AI and finding this huge sense of purpose and healing. It's amazing. All right, section 2, the leap. Because this is where she went from still images to making things move. So a friend of hers basically told her, look, you just got to start putting your stuff out there. Don't worry about it being perfect. And so she did. She just started throwing her video experiments online, warts and all. And I mean, we're talking about AI-generated hands with like 3 thumbs. But that wasn't the point, right? The point was just to do it, to break through that creative block and share her voice. And then comes this moment that is just, it's like something out of a movie. Her very first paid gig is making a music video for an ex-boyfriend. But get this, the song in the video, it features her best friend, the same friend whose loss started this whole journey. Can you even imagine? It's just this incredibly poignant, full circle moment. Okay, section 3, the breakthrough. And this is where things get, well, a little crazy, in the best way possible with an unexpected global win. You are gonna love this. The story of how she found out she won is just perfect. So she's got these terrible sleep issues, right? A friend from the US gives her some, let's just say, very strong melatonin. So she pops one, logs into the online awards ceremony for the biggest AI competition in the world, and just completely passes out. Knocks out for the whole thing. She wakes up, kind of grumpy that she missed it, and grabs her phone, and it is just exploded. Messages flying in from everywhere. Turns out, she'd won the whole damn thing. First place. So now we're at section 4, the aftermath. Because after a win like that, you're navigating a whole new world. And I mean, just look at this. The phone did not stop ringing. We're talking about producers for Kanye West, Kevin Hart's production company. A university all the way in Sweden is calling, asking her to come give lectures on AI filmmaking. I mean, think about that shift. One minute you're making art at your desk to cope, the next you're this in-demand global expert. But with all of that success came something else. A massive, massive case of imposter syndrome. I think we can all relate to that, right? In her head, she's thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing. I didn't even finish university. But then you look at the reality, the facts. She won the world's biggest AI competition. Her personal heroes, I'm talking about the guy who literally invented bullet time for the Matrix, are telling her they love her work. And she's lecturing university students. It's this wild disconnect between how she felt and what she was actually accomplishing. Which brings us to our last section here, her philosophy. Because after all of this, what has she learned? It really all boils down to one simple idea. Story first, tool second. And this is the core of it, really. She sees AI as this great equalizer. It just levels the playing field. It gives people who have incredible stories to tell, but maybe don't have a Hollywood budget or a huge crew, the chance to actually tell them. Think about it. An idea you have on a Tuesday can actually be a short film you're showing people by Sunday. That's a game changer. So for her, the creative hierarchy is super clear. At the very top, number one with a bullet is storytelling. That is everything. Way down below that, the tools. They're just the vehicle, right? And then at the very bottom, almost not even on the list, is perfection. She's a huge believer that chasing perfection should never, ever stop you from just sharing your story. So, what about the haters? What about criticism from, say, traditional filmmakers? Well, her mindset is just perfect. She's like, look, you're in your lane, I'm in my lane, and these two lanes are never going to cross. She totally respects what they do, but she's not trying to compete with them. She's doing something new. And as she says, without AI, her idea would have just stayed in her head. So she's not taking anyone's job, she's creating a new one for herself. So when you boil it all down, what's her advice for the rest of us? It's actually beautifully simple. Number one, don't be scared of the technology. Just dive in. Number two, you're the boss. Use the tool. Don't let the tool use you. Number three, and this is the big one, if you have stories inside you, you have to tell them. And finally, number four, forget about being perfect. Just get your work out there. You know, Diane's whole story just goes to show that sometimes the most powerful tools aren't the ones we go looking for. They're the ones that find us right when we need them the most. They can be a way to heal, a way to transform, and, as we saw, a way to change your whole world. So it kind of leaves you with one big question, doesn't it? If AI really does level the playing field, what story are you going to tell?